Hey there, podcast lovers. Looking for a fresh take on the world? Tune into Nikki's World, where we dive into everything hitting the headlines and chat about just what's on our minds. No filters, just real talk. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or unwinding after a long day, Nikki's World is your go-to for genuine commentary on the real world. Subscribe now if you want to hear the real deal on what's going on. Join the conversation on Nikki's World, where every episode feels like catching up with an old friend. Don't miss out.
What's up, y'all? Let's do this.
Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. And today, guys, we got to talk about the Somali fraud that's going around in this country, in Minnesota, Ohio, and Maine. We got to talk about that and so much more. But before we go any further, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider donating a cup of coffee for me? Because for the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, and Cumberland Farms, guys, you guys help keep this podcast show alive. You guys help me curate more stories, more topics like this to talk about. I do accept Bitcoin donations. I am on Ko-fi, guys. If you guys want to support, sponsor, donate, tip to Nikki's World. I also have a model commission. So if you guys want me to model an outfit or something for you guys can buy that on Ko-fi.com. Also, guys, if you guys love Nikki's World so much, seriously, y'all, please hit that like, subscribe, please give me a review. Good, bad, and the ugly. Also, guys, I do have a bunch of affiliate links. First off is Minds.com. Minds.com is a Connecticut-based social media platform. They are an awesome alternative to Facebook. So if you guys value your right to freedom of speech like I do, and you guys want to be able to say stuff without being blocked, suspended, or deplatformed, well then, guys, head on over to Minds.com. Also, guys, I do have the most awesome, and I mean the most awesome affiliate link with Byrna. Byrna is the less lethal self-defense company, guys. They make their top of the line Byrna SB, Byrna LE, PCR, Mission 4, and their newest, guys, their compact launcher. So if you guys value your right to the Second Amendment, your right to self-defense, but you want to do it in a less lethal manner, well then, guys, head on over to my friends at Byrna.com. And full disclaimer, guys, I also own a Byrna LE myself. All right? So, also, guys, I do have this wonderful affiliate link with North Shore Medical Supply. North Shore Medical Supply they make their top of the line North Shore Megamax diaper, North Shore Supreme pull up, and their Eterna boosters, guys. So if you know somebody out there that needs to wear adult diapers, that needs to be put in adult diapers like me, guys, well then, send them on over to my friends at North Shore Medical Supply, and they will make sure that they are diapered up and padded up as always. And before we get this show on the road, literally, guys, if you guys love this episode and any of my other episodes on Nikki's World, seriously, y'all, can y'all please consider sharing this across all the social media platforms that are out there today? Wow, yeah, that is a mouthful. That is a mouthful. And yes, guys, I am diapered up as always. I'm in my North Shore Megamax diapers with my Eterna boosters, and I'm just in my t-shirt today as always. So I'm all set, padded up, diapered up as always. Let's get on with the show, shall we? So, anyway, guys, hope y'all had a good holiday, okay? It's the new year, 2026, and we all know it's time to buckle down. The midterm elections is coming up in 11 months, so it's time to get serious about the midterm elections and to make sure that we cement the MAGA agenda in 2026, and especially the conservative and libertarian agenda as well. So we really need to buckle down as well. And as far as for me, guys, I did have a good holiday. I know I was like out sick a little bit because I had like tendinitis, vertigo. I was throwing up like 3 times till I saw the nurse practitioner. And luckily, I was prescribed meds that help deal with the vertigo and help deal with the nausea. I mean, oh my God, it was horrible that I couldn't even get out of bed, to say the least. So I had to deal with that. And then also, my tendinitis has started to act up. So it's been a constant battle with tendinitis, dealing with the hearing, like the hearing loss on my left ear, knowing that a ringing sound is always being a pain in the ass to me. So yeah, it's been like that. It's been a whirlwind, and yes, I did see the ball drop on New Year's Eve in Times Square on TV. But we will talk about what I saw during that New Year's Eve ball drop that pissed me off. And today's show is going to be geared on what pissed me off, what grinds my gears, and what basically makes me mad about this country. Okay? So, anyway, let's get on with the show. So I want to talk about this thing from Nick Shirley. He did a video exposing the Somali fraud that has been going on in this country, where during the Obama Biden administration, they imported so many illegals, so many refugees who should not be in this fucking country, for Christ's sakes. Okay? Many of them, including what? Somali Muslims who were imported here, all of a sudden started opening up many daycare centers, adult care centers, like home health care centers with no legitimate office, and they were robbing the taxpayers of billions and billions of dollars. That to me is fraud right there. That to me is fraud on a fucking grand scale. And thanks to Nick Shirley, who exposed all this. And by the way, guys, I'm going to put the full video in the link in the description below. And I will also share the video on all my social media sites, including my blogs out there, so everyone can see and it's well documented. The fact that these Somali refugees pillaged hardworking taxpayers who work every fucking day, grind day in, day out, work hard just to decide whether to pay for gas or pay for food, and all of a sudden get taxed so far up the ass that you got Somali refugees pillaging, stealing, defrauding taxpayers. People like you and me who grind every fucking day to go to work to make what, $1 out of nothing? And all of a sudden get taxed to death? And then my tax dollars winds up in the hands of Somali refugees who open up like what? Fake, fraudulent home care, child care, like adult senior care, and basically pillage money from taxpayers. And coincidentally, some of that money gets funneled back to Somalia in the hands of terrorists. And Democrats cry racism for exposing their fraud, their money laundering scheme. I hate to say this. It's time that we basically stop immigration in this country. We literally put a dead stop, a moratorium for the whole fucking year. After that, we start a massive deportation. Anybody connected to this fraud should be deported. And if they're a Democrat who helped these Somali refugees pillage, rob, and defraud us, should literally be fucking thrown in prison with a mandatory of 15 to life. I don't give a shit anymore. What pisses me off is that I worked so hard just to make meager dollar while some illegal immigrant or Somali refugee walks into this country and is given everything from a condo, apartment, a car, an Obama phone, $3,000 stamps. While people like me who work part-time stamps can't even get Social Security, get like help. But an illegal immigrant or a Somali refugee, yeah, they get everything. But then in turn, they open up like fake shops, or they open up like stores, restaurants right next to Walmart where they rob and then resell it right at their own stores. The fact of the matter is, in this country, we're getting robbed, we're getting pillaged, we're getting like basically robbed at gunpoint. Okay? And the fact that we gotta pay taxes to pay for this shit, I'm like, fuck you. Fuck you. And I go like this. Why the fuck should I be paying taxes when my tax dollar winds up in the hands of Somali refugees that wind up being given to terrorists in Somalia? Why the fuck? Why? Why the fuck? Because you know why? Because our government threatens us that, oh, if we don't pay taxes, we go to prison. But yet, Democrats get away with this on a consistent basis, and yet they're not being thrown in prison. But the government will threaten me if I don't pay taxes that I'll be thrown in prison. How fucked up is this in this country? Seriously, how fucked up is that? The government threatens us if we don't pay taxes, they'll throw us in prison. But if a Democrat and a Somali refugee defrauds this country by raping in billions of dollars and funneling it out of the country to the hands of terrorists back home in Somalia, It looks the other damn way, but threatens us with jail time if we don't pay taxes. How fucked up is this in this country? How fucked up is this? When I saw this video, okay, when I saw this video of Nick Shirley exposing all the Somali home health care, all the Somali child care, all the Somali adult daycare, finding out they have shit tons of vans but never use them, and then finds out that like Tim Waltz or Tampon Tim in Minnesota is funneling the money to these people just so the Democrats can get votes and stay in power? Fuck this shit. Yeah. As someone who works part-time at Amazon, who's trying to make $1 out of nothing while trying to go to grad school, okay, to find out that these Somali refugees have robbed, pillaged the taxpayers in this country, but yet we're finding out about this, and now Democrats are calling us racist for exposing their fraud. I sit there and I go like this: "What up is this country is right now? How fucked up is it that I work my ass, okay, wake up like around like 6 in the morning, okay, sometimes on a cold night or cold early morning to go to work at Amazon, okay, only make like what, $20 an hour to work like 4 or 5 hours, okay, and then to get taxed so much that every week I bring home at least what, $300-400, and next thing you know, my half of it is taken out the taxes, which winds up in the hands of Somali refugees, which ultimately winds up in the hands of terrorists. But yet the left calls us racist for exposing their fraud, for noticing their fraud, and yet our government threatens us if we don't pay taxes, we go to jail. Like, looks the other way when Somali refugees are opening up fake childcare centers with no kids and raking in the money from taxpayers, all while Tampon Tim looks the other way, but panders to these people with everything like kid and glove, while you, me, and everyone else who is grinding every fucking day at work, knowing that our tax money that we'll never see will wind up in the hands of these godforsaken pirated refugees who will wind up sending it back home to their terrorist buddies. But yet, the left wants to call you racist for exposing their fraud, for their knowing their fraud, knowing their money laundering scheme. I sit there and I go like this: what kind of fucked up country is this that we have states like Minnesota, Ohio, and Maine, and now Washington State, who are basically giving out money to these Somali refugees who are opening up like what, fake child care centers. Many of them, when you actually go investigate and verify these so-called child care centers, in regular homes with no kids. Yeah. Yet I'm told by the government, okay, that I have to go work my ass off, that I have to go slave just to get money. But then half my money gets taken for taxes that winds up in the hands of these Somali refugees who winds up laundering it back home to the hands of terrorists over there. And you wonder why in God's sake, an American is fucking pissed off and fed up with our government. That our government will look this the other way, okay? Especially our fucking rhinos that are sitting in Washington, D.C. Yeah, they'll just come out with a worded message. Or here's another one. They'll come out with, a hearing. Fuck the hearing. Fuck your strongly worded message. I want to see charges. I want to see perp walk. I want to see deportations. I want to see those Somali refugees rounded up, tossed on an airplane, and dumped back home in Somalia. And I don't give a flying fuck if Democrats call me racist, bigot, homophobe, or transphobe. Because those words don't stick anymore in 2026. Those words don't work anymore. All those leftist words that are used to scare people, you upside the head, bitch. That don't fucking work anymore. I don't care what any leftist, Democrat, liberal who tries to call me racist, bigoted, homophobe, istophobe, or transphobe. Those words don't fucking work on me anymore. Those words just push right off me, and I just laugh at them in the face while I stick my middle finger right up there, right in front of their face. The fact that in this country right now, we are getting raped, robbed, and pillaged by Somali refugees. Okay? And you wonder why people like you, me, and everyone else is pissed off. You wonder why people like you and me are angry, are fed up with this country, are fed up with the government that looks the other way when you see these Somali refugees opening up like what? God knows how many daycare, childcare, adult care, and not even provide the service. Or if they even provide it, it's so subpar that they probably even killed someone in the process. That's what pisses me off in this country. Okay? What pisses me off in the United States of America is that I'm told that I have to grind, I have to work, I have to slave day in, day out, and not even be able to move up the ladder in this country. But yet, an illegal immigrant or a Somali refugee gets the red carpet treatment walking in this country and gets the pillage and rob and steal everything that we as Americans work our ass off of and work so hard for. It makes you wonder why we're pissed off. Makes you wonder why we're mad. Hell, I'm mad just reading these articles or seeing these tweets about these so-called Somali daycare when they don't even have kids. Yeah. And then anytime you go investigate them, they threaten to call the cops over what? Being exposed for being a fraudulent daycare center or committing fraud? Yeah. I'm going to just say like this up front, and I'm going to just say like this, plain and simple. Forget the fucking hearings. Forget the strongly worded letters or tweets. I don't give a flying fuck about that. What needs to happen is that we need to shut down immigration in this country for a whole year. That means nobody is not allowed to immigrate in this country. We're closed. Second, we need to round up and deport every illegal immigrant and every refugee. I don't give a flying fuck about these people. I don't care about your sob story. I don't care. I don't care about your oh, if you make me persecuted. Don't give a flying fuck. Get the fuck out. It's that simple. Get the fuck out. You basically is like this. The previous government let you win the country. You what? Raped, robbed, pillaged. I've even heard stories that Somali refugees will even like hunt a domestic cat and eat it right there. We don't need these people in this country. We need to literally clean house. That means Cash Patel and Pam Bondi need to stop giving press conferences. They need to stop going in front of the camera. The only time they should be going in front of the camera is when they make an arrest, when they make a prosecution, when these Somali fraudsters are perp walked into prison and then afterwards deported back to Somalia. That's when they make a press conference. Not while this fraud is still going on and people like Nick Shirley and all the conservative pundits out there are going out investigating this shit. Oh, I wouldn't be surprised, ladies and gentlemen. I wouldn't be surprised if there's fraud being committed here in Connecticut. Connecticut's a blue state, ladies and gentlemen. Just think. Connecticut's a blue progressive state that allows illegal immigrants to get driver's licenses. Okay? Wouldn't be surprised if they're getting like Husky Medicare, okay? Or if they're getting like subsidized education at taxpayers' expense. They're probably getting Section 8 housing while displacing an elderly who needs Section 8 housing. Wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. But what pisses me off every day as I wake up and go to work is that no matter how much money I make in this country, I know some Somali refugee is pillaging my hard-earned money. I know some Somali refugee is probably sending everyone's tax-paying dollars to terrorists back home and laughing at it in front of our face. Well, I'm going to tell you this. They ain't going to laugh any longer because I'm going to tell you right now, people are getting fed up. People are getting mad. People are getting angry. People are already threatened to revolt in this country. That means some people have said they should not be paying taxes, okay, if they know that their tax dollars are being defrauded by Somali refugees. Yeah. And then you got some of these leftists, like this mayor in Seattle, who can't even take care of her own self, but lives in an apartment, but has mommy and daddy taking care of her like hand and foot. She claims that like oh, people exposing this fraud are racist. Someone should go to that Seattle mayor up to her face and just bitch slap her so far across upside the head that by the time she wakes up, at least some common sense will be put back into her. At least. That's my generation speaking. That's a Gen X thing. Gen Xers, man, when we see you talking like a village idiot, we just slap some common sense so far upside the head that you don't say shit ever again. Yeah, it's pretty much simple. But the fact that we're being defrauded in this country, and it takes conservative pundits like Nick Shirley to expose this, and it's right there on video. it just speaks to me, ladies and gentlemen, that either the rhinos were in on it or the Republicans looked the other way, but behind the conference room, closed door, or in the congressional cafeteria, they were all in on it. So either way, ladies and gentlemen, your tax dollars that you, me, and everyone work for is being robbed. It's being stolen. And yet, if we stop paying taxes, our government threatens to jail us. But if a Somali refugee who never pays taxes keeps getting handouts for fake childcare, fake daycare, fake adult care, they get nothing. It's like we really live in a two-tiered justice system in this country. We really do. We really live in a fucking two-tiered justice system. And that's what pisses me off. And that's what really grinds my gears in this country. The fact that you got refugees from Somalia who come to this country, all thanks to Democrats, leftists, liberals, and the Pino, you know what I mean, president name only, Joe Biden, aka Let's Go Brandon, all right? They come in, they pillage tax-paying dollars, and yet Democrats call us racist, bigoted, homophobe, or whatever istophobe for exposing and knowing that they're committing fraud. I don't know what to say anymore, man. I don't know what to say. All I need to say is this. As an American citizen who works, whether full or part-time, I don't discriminate, okay, is being robbed. They're being robbed and pillaged. And it makes me wonder, why the fuck are we paying taxes when our money is being misused? When it's being like stolen? When it's being like used in fraudulent manner? Makes me wonder. But then again, you got Democrats up here going like this. Oh, there's no fraud. There's no this and this and this. I'm racist. I'm bigoted. I'm homophobe. But then you got news agencies, especially conservative ones, like the Maine Wire, okay? Like Nick Shirley, exposing this fraud. Plain and simple. Right out in the open for every goddamn motherfucking mother to see. That the fraud is right there in front of their eyes. But then leftists choose to wear blinders and choose to wear dark shades that they can't see the fraud. But everyone with two brain cells rubbed together can see it plain as clear. But yet they want to call me racist or whatever phobic shit for noticing their fraud. It's time we need to clean house in this country, ladies and gentlemen. It's time we need to clean house. Tampon Tim should be perp walked into federal prison. Tampon Tim should be perp walked immediately. The Democrats, leftists, and liberals that perpetuated this fraud, enabled this fraud, or even assisted the Somali refugees with this fraud should all be thrown in prison with a mandatory minimum of 15 to life. I don't give a shit. 15 to life is a strong deterrent, and it's enough to scare the living crap out of anyone, knowing that If they're going to be doing 15 years in prison, that means their life is gone. Pretty much that simple. But then at the same time, all the Somali refugees, bye, gone, see ya, see ya. I don't give a shit. Don't give a fuck. You want sympathy? Your sympathy is right back home where you belong. It's that simple. They can go back to Somalia for all I care. And then we put a total ban on anyone from Somalia from entering, visiting, or even immigrating into this country. We make sure they never ever step foot in America ever again. It's that simple. But the fact of the matter is, guys, as American citizen, you should be pissed that your tax dollars is being used in fraudulent ways in this country. You should be pissed that no matter how much money you make in this country, you never have enough to put food on the table, pay for gas to go to work, or pay your bills. You never have enough. But then the problem is these people who defrauded our tax dollars, we're never going to get anything back. We're never going to get that money back. This is why I've proposed on the show here that, you know how blacks always like to talk about reparations and restitution? Well, let's take that message and I'm going to say like this. Every American in this country should be owed reparations and restitution for all the money that has been defrauded by Somali refugees. All the property that they've brought as part of their criminal fraud should be seized, sold, and the proceeds go back to the taxpayers. Okay? They go back. They don't go back to the government, they go back to the taxpayers. At the same time, Trump needs to come out on day one and say any American who doesn't pay their taxes due to the Somali fraud scandal will be pardoned. That on day one will force the Democrats, will force Congress and the rhinos and the Republicans to make severe cuts immediately. And at the same time, Trump should come out with a moratorium on taxes and say every American citizen will not be paying taxes this year or for the next 4 years until we figure out what happened, until we figure out why is this fraud being perpetuated? How can we recoup this defrauding? And once we do that, then we'll figure out a fair system. Which to me, I'm all for a flat tax where everybody pays the same, regardless of how much you make. And I'm also for basically like a VAT, a value added tax, and also basically sunsetting every taxes, saying like this, okay, income tax will not be taxed, but certain taxes like tariffs, I'm all for. But the reality here is, guys, you should be pissed that your money is being defrauded by Somali refugees. And I don't care if Somali refugees call me racist, bigoted, homophobe, or Islamophobe. I don't care if some lefty, liberal, socialist, progressive, communist bullshit calls me that. Because those words don't mean shit anymore in 2026. Those words just wash off me and go, yeah, whatever, bitch. Yeah. Because you know why? I'm pissed that that no matter how much money I make, all that money that's taken out in taxes could have been used to what? Put food on the table, pay my gas to go to work, and pay part of my bills. That could have been used for it. But no, Democrats love to tax you to oblivion. Yeah, they love to tax you so much that makes you fucking wonder why people like me, who work day in and day out, who can't move up in this country from what? The working poor to the middle class, who can't. No matter what education, what work experience, we can't move up. But yet this country tells us that, oh, work hard and you get to move up. Work hard, yeah. Work hard my fucking ass. Work hard and get taxed to death that winds up in the hands of Somali refugees who winds up sending it back home to their terrorists in Somalia? Yeah, fuck you, asshole. Fuck you. Yeah, why should I be paying taxes when I know my tax dollars being used and being defrauded in this country? Give me an answer to that. Give me an answer. Give me an answer. Why should I be paying taxes knowing that my tax dollars are going to be defrauded? Okay? Knowing that my money is going to be misused by Somali refugees, leftists, liberals, Democrats, that they're going to money launder, they're going to like commit fraud. And yet, we don't have a government that doesn't bring accountability, consequences, repercussions, and act in like basically criminal justice. We don't. But yet, we see it every fucking damn day. And we see it every day. And then it makes you wonder why people like me are fed up. People like me are pissed. People like me are mad that Somali refugees are robbing, stealing, pillaging taxpayers' money. Yeah, and they're making these fake, like, childcare. One of them, like, called quality leering, that can't even spell learning correctly. These people don't bring value into this country. These people don't bring anything into this country. These people need to be deported back to Somalia, throw them on a ship, throw them on a plane, ship them all the way to Somalia, and dump them there. Okay? And don't ever let them come back. It's pretty much that simple. It pretty much is. But the fact of the matter is, every American in this country should be up at arms. Every fucking American in this country should be mad, angry, and pissed that your tax dollars is being misused, being abused, okay? Your tax dollars is having a Me Too moment because it's being misused by Somali refugees. They're raking in money by making fake childcare centers, fake home care, elderly medical care, and basically raking in the money that leftists keep pouring in, like if it's like alcohol, like a drunk sailor. Yeah, like a drunk sailor on the street. To me, ladies and gentlemen, I'm pissed. To me, I'm mad. I'm pissed off. I'm angry. I'm fired up. I'm like I'm like mad that every day I go to work, grind my gears, okay? Sweat my ass off, all right? Knowing that my tax dollars is going to be abused by some Somali refugee and there's no repercussions for that. This is where every fucking American should be up at arms, should be pissed off, should be mad, should be angry, should be steamed that like your money is being abused by these Somali refugees, and these Somali refugees have the nerve to say that, oh, you shouldn't be talking about that. Well, you shouldn't be using our tax dollars anyway, and furthermore, you shouldn't be in this country in the first place. Yeah, yeah, it does make me mad. It does make me steamed. It does make me angry. And it pisses me off that these people pillage our tax dollars, and yet our government threatens us with prison time if we don't pay taxes. Makes me wonder, ladies and gentlemen, why the fuck do we need to pay taxes anyway? Explain that to me. Why the fuck do we need to pay taxes when we know it's going to get pillaged and robbed and defrauded by these Somali refugees? Why the fuck? Why? Why? Explain that to me. Because you know why? I want the $64,000 explanation. I want the explanation as to why the fuck am I being forced to pay taxes knowing that it's going to get misused by Somali refugees who create fake childcare, medical care, home health care, adult care, and then funnel the money all the way back home to Somalia. Why should I be paying taxes for this shit? I say there should be a tax revolt. I say this, ladies and gentlemen. I say there should be a tax revolt. People should not be paying taxes if we know that our tax dollars is being misused and abused. Why should I be paying taxes knowing that my money is being misspent? Knowing that the taxes they collect weekly out of my paycheck is being abused and misused by Somali refugees and by leftists, Democrats, and liberals. Why the fuck should I be paying it? I know there are a lot of people who are saying online that I shouldn't be paying taxes. I should be writing exempt because you know why? My money is getting misused. And if Trump wants to make this right in this country, he should put a moratorium on collecting taxes for a year. Doing that will force Congress to start cutting spending. We'll start cutting needless, wasteful spending. It's that simple. And at the same time, it'll force Congress to wake up and smell the goddamn motherfucking coffee and go, no, we can't be doing this, man. We can't be letting these Somali refugees rape, pillage, rob, steal, or whatever. We can't be letting them do this, man. We can't be. So that means like this. Homeland Security should be in Minnesota, Ohio, and Maine and deporting these Somali refugees back to their country where they fucking belong. I don't care about their sob story. I don't care if they're going to be persecuted when they came over here and basically robbed and pillaged us. I don't give a flying fuck. I don't give a damn about their story. They need to be deported for all I care. And I don't care if some leftist calls me like racist, bigoted, or whatever, because those words don't mean shit to me. Okay? Those words don't mean a flying fucking shit. Never have, never will. That's why people like me are pissed off, because I can never make enough money to basically put food on the table, pay for gas to go to work, pay my bills, and even pay for my photo shoots. Can't even afford all that. Because you know why? our government fucking misuses our dollars. And it makes me question, why the fuck should I be paying taxes when we know our government is basically misusing taxpayers' money? Why? Why the fuck, guys? Explain that to me. Really, explain it to me. Yeah, explain it to me. All right, guys? Really do. I want to know the answer. And if you know the answer, write in the comments below, okay? Really, write in the comments below. Wow, that was a good long show, man. That was a good long show. That really was, guys. That really was. And before we go, I just want to say like this. I hope y'all had a good new year. I hope y'all had a safe, fun Christmas. Hope you got what you wanted for Christmas. Hope you got to spend time with family, which is very important here, guys. Okay. Hope you really did. All right. So anyway, guys, I know it's the weekend and it's Friday, so I'm gonna be checking out for the weekend, but I will see you guys back on Monday. All right. So stay safe, stay sane out there. And I thank you guys for listening to Nikki's World. I'm Nikki, your host. I will see y'all soon. Bye for now.
You just listened to an episode of Nikki's World. Thanks for listening. We'll see y'all soon. Bye for now.